10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is August 8th and we're going to start here with this update from Langers, who says that hey everyone, to further strengthen the security of our protocol, we are proud to announce that we have increased our bug bounty to a maximum of $500,000. And there's a link to the Rocket Pool's Immunefi page. Langers goes on to say this is just another step in our ongoing commitment to continuously enhance the bounty program. Your contributions to the community's safety are greatly valued. Rocket Pool. So let's have a quick look at the Immunefi page and see what's there. So what do they have? So Rocket Pool is live since September 8th, 2021. There's no QIC. The maximum bounty is $500,000 and that was updated on August 4th. So there's a program overview of what it means, what is the Rocket Pool and what does the bug bounty consist of. And then here are the different threat levels. So the main one is a critical threat, which is now at $500,000 payout. The high threat is at $25,000. The medium threat is at $5,000, and the proof of concepts are required for these. And then you can have a look at the different contracts and the assets that are within the scope of this bounty. So these are all the different contracts that you can claim against. I'm surprised that the critical bounty has increased, but the high and the medium ones haven't. It was, I guess maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought it was the case that they kind of like increase in lockstep, but that's not the case. But anyway, here they have the severity classification, so you can read about whether the bug you find is high, medium or critical and what this means. So for example, a critical bug is the network not being able to confirm new transactions, total network shutdown, unintended permanent chain issues, etc. I don't think these are related directly to Rocket Pool, but that's Immunefi's systems, basically the way it works. But yeah, if you are interested in going bug hunting, then good luck. You can get $500,000 if you find a critical bug, and yeah, you can see what you get there. But it's nice that that's increased. I guess the idea kind of goes as the protocol's TVL increases, then you can increase the bug bounty that you pay out as well. So it's nice that that has been increased now. So yeah, get bug hunting. Okay, in the events here we had some transactions coming through from Dave. He's a team member at the Rocket Pool who converted some of his mini pool 16s to LEB 8s. So there was a whole bunch of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, I think. And then there was more as well. So he staked more RPL, 5,100 of it, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so this there's this idea that we'll be starting to see more of this happening now, because there's a premium on our ETH. Let's have a look at what the premium currently stands at. Give me a second. Let's see if someone ran the bot command recently. No, I can do it myself. LSD price. So this bot was created by Ramana and it's currently 0.77% premium. So it's nearly at a 1% premium now. So our bot should work, right? That's not actually true. So Noshua here says that the R bot is currently not working. So people just wait, why is our bot not working? And then Noshua goes on to explain. He shares this screenshot saying the deposit pool is over the maximum amount. So the maximum amount size of the deposit pool is 18,000 ETH. The current size of the deposit pool is 18,024 ETH at the time of the screen capture, earlier today. And then Noshua goes on, he says, it's not dead yet, but if you create a mini pool with credit, you free up 8 ETH worth of deposit pool space. And then so Notional explains what it means here. So he says how it works is you create a mini pool which takes ETH out of the deposit pool. This creates space in the deposit pool to mint new rETH, which you then sell for profit. But if the current size of the deposit pool is more than the maximum size plus 32 ETH, you don't actually free up space. So Notional says someone that creates 2 mini pools can arb on the second one and fix it for everyone else. So it's not the end of the world for now, but if we get lots of more exits, it might go way over 18,000. So that's the number. The 18,000 number is the key number, and how it works. So let's go to RocketScan and have a look and see what's going on over here, and maybe I can explain it in a little bit more detail. So the limit of the deposit pool is 18,000 ETH. Right, we all know this is the number. However, what happens is as people withdraw ETH from Rocket Pool, and if the balance is full, then that ETH gets put onto the deposit pool. So right now we're at 18,168. That means 168 ETH worth of like basically ETH has been put onto the deposit pool, and it's gone over 18,000. So if now there's no more withdrawals from RPL, people like spinning down their validators, then that number should go down as 10 more people or something like that. I think a little bit more than that, a little bit less than that, depends on what kind of mini pools they spin up. If it's a mini pool 16, then just 11 of them, and if there's solo staker migration, then fewer, and if there's a reduction, then fewer as well. Well, fewer, but we need more validators to come online to kind of eat through this, and then once this gets around the 18,000 mark without more people exiting from Rocket Pool, then you'll start being able to use the ARB bot. But right now the way it stands is the ARB bot is not able to be used because the deposit pool won't let you mint new rETH because the space isn't opening up. So the way the ARB bot works is, you're at 18,000, you mint, you make a new validator, so that takes out ETH from the deposit pool, leaves a gap in the deposit pool. Then you use a bot, basically, which is the ARB bot, to mint rETH in place of the amount that's missing from the deposit pool, and then you sell that on the secondary market and pocket the difference. So basically we need some validators to come online before we can start doing this, and we don't want more people to be exiting because that's what causes the situation to happen. But there's a real ARB now where it's 0.77%. so if you are bringing your validators online, especially as a solo staker, there's a lot of scope there for you to get some good ARB percentages. It looks like in the coming days it might go a little bit higher. In the past it's gone as high as 3%, even maybe a little bit more than that, which could end up being hundreds of dollars worth of rewards for bringing your validator online. Not sure, he had an interesting point. He was saying that the premium as an incentive to bring your validator online might not be that good a one. And then he says the premium doesn't just work for new mini pools, it also works for existing mini pools that exit and re-enter. Exited ETH goes to the rETH contract, and then they free up space in the deposit pool with new mini pool. Essentially, premium is an incentive to move ETH from the deposit pool to the rETH contract, and there is no guarantee that we can end up with more mini pools. And then Val goes on to and then Tim asks, so basically you think the incentives could be better? And Notional says we spend 70% of RPL inflation on node operators, and these rewards do not incentivize the creation of new mini pools. We should fix that instead of looking at rETH premium as a solution. So there's a whole lot of discussion going on, and that's definitely something to keep an eye on and pay attention to. But right now, as we stand, you can't ARB the deposit pool, but hopefully in a matter of hours, we'll be in a position where we can start doing that. And the current ARB, like I showed you, stands at 0.77% of a premium, and maybe that might increase a little bit more. But of course, that leads to a less favorable a market for people wanting to buy rETH. So as you can see, the deposit pool has probably dried up quite a lot. Yeah, so right now, as of August 8th, we've had 175 ETH coming into the deposit pool, whereas on August 7th, we had 4,500. So this is going to lead to worse outcomes for people wanting to interact with Rocket Pool, and sadly that's the kind of situation that we're in. As you can see from this chart over here, the deposit pool balance over time, it kind of comes in periods, right? So we have this period from launch all the way up to May 2022, where we were validator constrained. We needed more validators to come online, and then from May 22 all the way through to kind of like September, end of September or beginning of October 22. At that point, we were rETH constrained, so there were not enough people buying rETH because there was a slight discount on rETH on the market. And then from October 22 all the way through to April of 2023, again we were node operator constrained, and since that period up to now, we've pretty much kind of been in balance slash pretty much in balance, because there hasn't been a discount or premium on rETH, but they've also been like keeping the validators moving. But now it looks like there's signs that we're going back to being node operator constrained, and there's just not enough node operators coming online. So yeah, it's definitely not ideal situation. Okay, speaking about rETH, here we had this thread from Teddy, who is part of Notional Finance, and Teddy, who we talked about yesterday on the show as well, and he says, do you want to predict future LST yields? Here's a breakdown of all the yield drivers for rETH from Rocket Pool and how to forecast them. He says our baseline is 3.5% average for rETH over the next 12 months and 3.14% over the next 6 months is 3.51, and next 12 months is 3.14%. So he says that there are four main drivers for the rETH yield: total ETH staked and the base protocol reward yield, on-chain activity levels and the MEV reward yield, the rETH effectiveness percentage, and Rocket Pool validator fee percentage. So those are some numbers there. And then he goes on to say the base protocol reward yield, this comes from ETH issuance and purely a function of ETH staked. As total ETH staked increases, the base protocol yield decreases. Today this yield is 3.32%. If the total ETH staked, this yield would fall to 2.35%. And then there's MEV yield part 1. He says the MEV reward is the yield that stakers get from MEV via flashbots. MEV rewards are very volatile and tightly linked to on-chain activity levels. Per block, MEV rewards have ranged from 0.07 ETH and 0.28 ETH this year. MEV, and then more information. He says as total ETH staked increases, the MEV reward yield gets diluted because the total amount of MEV does not change. Today average activity levels 0.15 ETH per block amounts to 1.57% APY. If total ETH stake doubled, that yield halves to 0.79%. And then Teddy says the rETH effectiveness percentage, Rocket Pool does not actively stake 100% of its ETH. Some ETH is held unstaked for technical reasons, and some of it is stuck in the validator entry queue. A large validator entry queue has pushed the percentage as low as 70% in the past. Of course, that was right after Atlas. And here Teddy says, forecasting the base protocol reward yield, total ETH staked has been steadily increasing. If we extrapolate the recent 5.5% month-over-month growth of total ETH staked, the average base protocol reward yield will be 3.1% in the next 6 months and 2.84% over the next 12. And then with the MEV reward, you got to factor that into it. It says on-chain activity is harder to forecast. Instead, here are yields for low, average and high activity levels, assuming the extrapolated total ETH supply figure. And then he's got different numbers there. And then he says forecasting the effectiveness, the rETH supply has steadily been growing and the entry queue has been steadily shrinking. This trend increases rETH effectiveness increases rETH effectiveness. We expect average effectiveness to be 92% over the next 6 months and 95% over the next 12. Putting it all together, and this is the number that you get. So for periods, there's periods of low activity, average activity, and high activity. For the next 6 months, if it's low activity, 2.94%. Next 12 months, if it's low activity, 2.66%. And then for average activity, 3.51 and 3.14, and for high activity, 4.45 and 3.92. And then Teddy says here's example calculations, future rETH yield using average activity levels. And then there's like some calculations. And Teddy says a lot can happen in 12 months that could affect these forecasts, but hopefully this analysis gives investors a good baseline that they can use to make ETH yield and investment decisions. And then they've got a full blog post about it. And Jasper says this is a good analysis. So that was a good analysis. Thanks, Teddy. Okay, next we have this update from Gravita Protocol, who says they opened a new vessel. They expanded the links for the limits for rETH on their vessels, and it only took 4 days to max out. So here Gravita Protocol says probably nothing. So they, on August 3rd, they increased the limits to 6.5 million, and they said, let's see if it takes less than a week to fill out, or and it took 4 days. So I think Gravita are really happy about how much rETH is used on Gravita, because it's the biggest LST that they have on the protocol, which is really awesome to see. Okay, next we have this update here from Mark the Shark, who says that Mark is on the team from Fuji Finance and wanted to let us all know that we'll be supporting some rETH vaults in our protocol this week. The specific vault will be rETH USDC on Arbitrum and Optimism. If you aren't aware of what Fuji is, we recently launched the first cross-chain money market aggregator, enabling you to deposit, borrow, and repay a position from any chain. We'll also help to optimize your deposit rates and borrow rates. If possible, it would be great to get a communication channel lined up with your team so we can talk more in the future. Cheers. So Mark and Fuji Finance here, Pateris told them to DM Maverick, and he said sure, can do that. So it's nice that they're incorporating rETH into their protocol, and maybe they'll talk to Maverick and try to open up some channels about that. Okay, next I'm going to be talking about Rocket Pool and EigenLayer a little bit, and this is because Sneaky kind of brought this to my attention, and I already knew about it, but he said that a lot of people in the community didn't know about this discussion that was ongoing. So it kind of started with this tweet here that we covered yesterday. So Jasper says, on the back of another major whale deposit, it finally happened. We have over 500,000 rETH now. Huge congrats to the whole community. The total value of Rocket Pool is just under 1 million ETH. And he said the biggest scaling and APR updates are still coming. So what does that mean? This is where Sneaky says that, Jasper was kind of hinting at this EigenLayer integration and how that might look and how that might not look. And this idea of like who does the work, like what do we need to do kind of thing. And Jasper says there's no documentation you need, it's just sort of do whatever. The team has no ability to stop development, and saying that I'm in active communication with the EigenLayer team, and so is the core team. So I guess what Jasper here is trying to say that Rocket Pool's permissionless in some ways, and anyone can do work to build sidecars, etc. Just like Rocket Arb is a piece of software that Romana built a whole lot of node operators use when they're starting validators. So just the same way, you might be able to make add-ons for EigenLayer onto your smart node stack if there's issues in other places. I hope I'm understanding that right. Anyway, Jasper says this is so here Umbria said wondering how this product might look, and Jasper says this is generally the direction, but I think it's best, but all rewards shouldn't flow to nodes, some should go to rETH. And he says I can't imagine an acceptable system where Rocket Pool doesn't have senior debt. It's too intrinsic to rETH holders. So this conversation's like been semi-active over the days. And here Noshua says, we have a grants and bounties program where anyone can propose to work on something Rocket Pool related and try to get funding. Maybe you can find a group of people on the technical side who want to do some work. And here Ramana said, I would love a product manager. So maybe they can lead to more partnerships and working together. And yeah, it's definitely interesting that people are already starting to think about what a Rocket Pool and EigenLayer integration might look like. If you are interested, the thread is over here. It says RPL for EigenLayer collateral. The point that Jasper is making that is maybe, you know, we can have a separate RPL reserve on a node that would become EigenLayer collateral instead of, like, you know, the actual validator. So you'd be adding even more RPL to your node to get access to EigenLayer software. And this is a discussion that, like, you know, has been going on since July 28th. So definitely check it out. Like, I'll put the links to the discussion in the description, so you can go and have a look and kind of poke around and ask if you want to, like, you know, make suggestions, share ideas, just read about it. But there's some really interesting stuff in there. So definitely go and give that a look. It's under research. It's a thread under research if you want to go find it, but you can just follow the link in the description as well. But this is the kind of thing that, you know, it's really exciting that people in the community are working on it, and it's going to be interesting to see how all that goes. Okay, and finally we have this validated queue website created by Hani Abu, and it shows that, you know, now there is less than 70,000 validators in the queue. The main thing that I wanted to show you was that it's 28 days and 11 hours as the wait time. And once that, you know, gets down to about 25 days, then I think that we might see a whole bunch of people switch from, you know, mini pool 16s to LEP 8s right after the next rewards period, because they'll be able to not lose any of their RPL rewards in that switch. So definitely keep an eye out for that, and I'll keep an eye out on that as well. But sadly, the next rewards period is like 3 weeks away, so it's going to be, it should be under 28 days by that point. I'm fairly sure of it. But yeah, I'll definitely keep you all in the loop with what's going on with that. And as always, you know, I'll try to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.